That's how old parents are now these days.
There's another Cambodian woman I used to work with who had parents that were. Her dad is 80, and she was like my age. And I'm like, fuck, that's crazy. And he was
Yeah,
a
dude.
monk too.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. This is what we're gonna have to get into in fucking when we do Golden Pavilion is
The
like
monks.
yeah, just like what the fuck? Like they're basically like
Monk culture is so fucked up, but
it's
especially
crazy.
Buddhist monks.
Yeah, it's
And
just like it's like a vocation that they just do as a job, and they're like oh okay, well I guess my son's a fucking loser, so he'll be a monk as well.
well, it's a fucking lineage of losers.
Yeah,
Like that's the job you do if you're a loser.
yeah,
There's
which
no one respects them. Everyone sort of just tolerates them
yeah,
as religious
but
necessity.
but not even that. Like in Golden Pavilion, they don't really. Yeah, you're right. They're barely tolerated. They're just sort of seen as bums, really.
Yeah. Anyway, so let's um let's thank Daniel. Daniel,
It's
as always, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Thank you for talking Mishima.
my pleasure.
We're talking chapters 2 and 3 of part 2 of The Sailor Who Fell from Grace with the Sea. And he's certainly falling bloody hard in these
Well,
chapters.
this is probably yeah, maybe not the fall, but the trip he has that
He's
leads
the
to the fall.
stumble.
Yeah. The fall. Yeah. Anyway, look. I just realized when we were talking after last week's episode, and I actually didn't know that you actually hadn't read the book.
Mm-mm.
I thought you were just doing that, like you were just
No,
pretending.
it's not a funny joke. I
Oh,
genuinely have not read it.
okay. So okay,
And it's
glad I
annoying.
haven't.
It's very, very annoying.
Yeah. Okay. I shouldn't have spoiled bits for you then. Sorry.
I don't care. Do you think I would listen to anything you say, Dan?
Sometimes.
Just in one ear and out the other, mate. I've got a
Sometimes.
completely empty head.
Wouldn't it be full?
I don't think it's full. It's definitely not full.
That's why I don't remember anything these days.
Full,
It's
full
just
of
too
rocks
full.
and
I'm
garbage.
too smart. No, it's full of memories and knowledge and wisdom.
And let's not deviate further, shall we?
All right, let's
Let's not
talk.
draw this conversation between friends out
Yeah,
unnecessarily, shall we?
these are two really good chapters.
They are pretty good. Do you want to
Yeah,
do the first one?
yeah, I would actually.
First one being chapter 2.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll run through the narrative briefly, and then I might just pick up on something that I noticed and I've sort of talked about previously, right? So,
Yeah.
chapter 2, it starts with the shitty present that Ryuji has bought Fusako.
Hey, I disagree. It is a weird present, but she's into it, dude.
Okay, well, let me describe it how Mishima describes it. It's an armadillo pocketbook, bizarre affair. It had a handle that looked like a rat's neck, crude clasps and stitching, but she left the house happily. And the manager of her store, apparently scowled with his disapproval. And we'll talk more about Mr. Shibuya.
This chapter, I instantly dislike Shibuya when we had like the very slight glimpse into his conduct
You reckon?
that we didn't have in the last chapter we discussed him.
I like him. I feel like I'm a bit of a Shibuya character.
He had about 3 lines, and within those lines, I curled my lip in contempt for him.
This is the big difference between us. He's very much a bureaucrat, which is unfortunately.
I don't think he's a bureaucrat. I will save what I'm going to say about him until you get.
All right. Anyway, so it's New Year's Eve, and they're cleaning the house. Fusako's out working. I think, yeah, she's working. Ryuji and Noburo and the house cleaner are just cleaning the house for New Year's, which I guess is. I was going to say it's a Japanese thing, but I think all people do that except for like lazy people like me.
Anglos.
Yeah, Anglos.
You live in
my mum went crazy over that. Like she would just, yeah, still have memories of that. And Ryuji's just like do this, do that, and Noburu's loving it. He's having such a good time being bossed around. He's apparently forgotten about his cold, and he loves being told what to do by Ryuji to the point that he's even dressed the same. They've got the towel around the head, which is like you know the picture, right? Japanese.
I do. Ryuji made him say the Shahada while Fusako was out, and they're both Muslims now.
It's not like that actually.
It
It's not like
might not
that.
be in your copy.
They have to deal with the annoying housekeeper a little bit. We can skip over that. She's just a bit of filler, in my opinion. I don't really need to.
Just a
Um,
bot like an overbearing, scolding middle-aged woman.
yeah, boring
No.
person. And then Fusako comes home and she loves the look of this. She's so proud. She sees Ryuji just barking orders and getting the house clean. And for what's uh, I've just completely forgotten his name. Noburo is just she loves to see him working and having a good time. Uh, and then this is where we start to get a feel also for Ryuji's inner thoughts about what am I doing with my life. Um, maybe I just need to settle down a little bit.
Mm.
Maybe I've characterized that in a bit too brief, and we'll get into it a bit later.
No, I
But
don't
like,
think so.
yeah,
I I
yeah.
took copious notes for this, even though I only just read it. I the thing that I like first off, apart from the weird fucking gift, was the approval of Noburu and Ryuji's relationship. Noburu seems to be on an upswing mood
Yeah,
wise from last chapter.
yeah,
Fusako's approving. She's keen on the man's talk that
yep,
Ryuji's introducing into the house, which is basically just telling her to stop worrying her stupid woman brain about illnesses, because working is actually how you cure illness.
yeah. It
Apparently,
is.
according to this hick, this
That's
this
how I do it.
this bizarre like country remedy from this idiot.
Yeah. So should we? Well, why don't we discuss up until they go outside? I think.
Sure. I
Yeah.
liked. I also liked what I wrote down as take that Whitey. Um, that is Fasako's very low opinion of the Irish gentleman
hmm
who attempted to kiss her. He just hung on there like he was a leech or something.
Was it?
Um,
No, it wasn't Fusako. It was the housekeeper.
oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
See, you've done it as well.
I'm
Um,
deleting this then.
yeah, yeah. So that's why I
Oh,
was saying she's just this boring, like
he is boring.
boring middle-aged person because she just tells this, the sort of person who like tells the same anecdote over and over and over again to the same crowd of people, and you're just like that must
Yeah,
be the only thing
me.
that's like the most interesting thing that's happened in your life.
That's me, dude.
Yeah, but we've got interesting lives.
Yeah, I don't
Well,
know
we
about that.
used to at least. We used to. Um,
So
yeah,
the
yeah.
the the venture out, I love this. I thought it
Yeah.
was so cute and so fun. In
Yeah,
fact,
I was
I
gonna
wrote
say.
fun.
Yeah, it is because like you got to remember they're younger than us. Like they're in their
Well,
early
Ryuji's
30s.
1 year younger than me.
Okay,
I'm not
well
an ancient bloody remnant like you are.
they're early to mid 30s, and I still do shit like this with women. Like so. This is cute. This is cute, and it's very romantic. I think
A wholesome bit of fun.
it is. So they're sort of like, why don't we go watch the sunrise? Which great idea on New Year's Day, especially if people are not blasted. But if you've had a great night. He doesn't. I mean, obviously, Mishima doesn't talk about it, but obviously, they've probably done something between midnight and this point. And they throw on clothes and they just get out there, out to the park, and they're, horsing around in the park. And
Mm. I like the description of the mucking around with the cold dark, like making breath steam
yeah,
with their mouths, and then feeling as though thin crusts of ice were coating their love-staled mouths.
yeah, 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 yeah.
He's done a bit of kissing.
They have been kissing. They've got pash rash.
They do have patch rash. He's got a terrible patch rash.
But then there's what you might call a moment of clarity for Ryuji.
Yes, the
Yeah,
this is the watching. I like the very protracted description of the sunrise.
yeah, it's beautiful.
There's no quickness in it, and it sort of, I think, illustrates or maybe just emphasizes the breadth of the time that he's actually taking to think through this, which I feel like the whole book, he's either thought through things very quickly without much consideration
Yeah.
or not at all before making a
Yeah.
decision.
Yeah.
But in this, it's constantly returning to the state of the sunrise,
Yeah.
which starts as um, a red bulb blooming above an emergency exit,
Hmm.
which only that is obviously the sunrise that then gets um, greater and greater as time goes on.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts on it, Daniel?
Well, what I would say is I don't think this is just cheap symbolism of, oh, well, the new year's come and the sun rises and he has this realization about his life. I think it's also that like this is a normal thing to do. It's the new year and you start thinking about your life in the year ahead. And obviously something's been bugging him. Well, something not I'm not I'm not supposing here. Like something actually has been bugging him and they just arrives a bit later. The thing that's been bugging him is, well, he's a sailor and he hates being a sailor, basically, or he's gotten sick of being a sailor.
Hmm.
And he
Tired,
comes to
tired to
realization,
death of the squalor
yeah,
and boredom in a sailor's life.
yeah, and he says, time to realize that no specially tailored glory was waiting for him. So he's grown up, like he's finally realized that you know there's it's just a job. You just have a job where you're a sailor and that's it. Like, that and your life is going to be mundane. It's going to be as mundane as it was in its 20s, as you are in your 30s, as it will be in your 40s.
No glory, even beneath that constellation every sailor dreams about, the Southern Cross. I fucking know that, dude.
Yeah,
Every
yeah.
day, no glory.
Every day I look at the sky and I see the Southern Cross and I think, I'm
Fuck.
glad I'm glad I'm here. I think fuck still in Australia.
Yeah. It was time to abandon the dream he had cherished too long.
Yep. But this is the thing, what dream? and I was
Well, I
asking
think
this.
it's the dream of the romantic dream of some great happening that he will either usher into
Yeah.
the world or will occur to him.
But
That's
my
It's
thought
been very
was
unclear in the whole book what that is.
But my thought was like, I was like, does he just dream of dying? And I think it
No,
sort of
that's the
gets to that.
romantic dream. He's got
That's
two
the
dreams.
yeah. Okay.
So
I didn't pick
his
I didn't pick that
romantic
out.
the romantic love dream is the dream of love and death.
Yeah.
And then the second dream is the dream of glory, that he will achieve
Mm,
glory, or glory will happen to him somehow.
yeah. And I think the glory is him basically dying.
No, I don't
That's what
think
I
so.
got.
This is our disagreement. I think his glory is to achieve something. I think that's like it's as simple as that. I think
Of
that
course
there's
he'll achieve something being a second mate on a tramp steamer.
yeah, and I think that's the point. There's
Yeah.
no he's sort of had this inkling that the male urge to um go on the crusade or whatever.
Yeah.
There's a great thing out there that could be achieved. Um, and now he's sort of realized that I'm 34. This woman who's fucking loaded loves me enough that she's been waiting for me to come back. We've
Mm,
now got this romance. Why not? This
yeah.
that's easy. This is
Yeah.
easy to give it up and to just slip into domesticity.
Yes. To reject the sea.
But the giving it up is like he's never said what he's what he's got or what he's wanting to do.
Yeah, but because this is the thing. What what did he think he was doing for the last 5 years or 10 years? What?
Well, this is, I reckon, this is Mishima mindset we've got to think about here. So put ourselves
Okay.
in the mind of the sensei himself. His glory is glorification of Japan, first and foremost, glorification of the emperor, and then personal achievement. So there is some undefined, vague, because Ryuji is Mishima mindset in through the lens of an idiot.
Hmm.
It's a vague sense of personal achievement that he cannot define because he's too thick. He's too thoughtless. He's a weird guy, but he's spent his whole life waiting for something to happen that hasn't happened. And this is the Mishima contempt because if it was Mishima that was doing it, he would go out and do the coup. He would get the homemade uniform on, go with
Yeah.
his mates, and go to the army barracks.
Yep.
Not like Ryuji, who's just sitting around on a boat waiting for things to happen, waiting
Yeah.
for exciting things to happen. Nothing happens. But the
Yep.
thing that does happen is this good romantic relationship that
Yeah.
feeds into his, half-baked romantic
But
scheme.
which is also good. This is like a good, normal, pro-social thing to
Exactly right.
fall in love with someone.
And that's what
You
he's
know.
realized, I think. I think
Yeah.
anyway. And I
Yeah.
don't think this is a death drive. I think this is
Uh,
us. Maybe it is because he still has that sort of.
maybe. Maybe I guess what I'm trying to get at is that a young person, so teenage boy and men into their 20s and even in their 30s, feel like there's something out there waiting for them, just as you were saying, right? And there's something more to life than just the mundane drudgery of getting up in the morning and brushing your teeth and going to work and coming home and eating dinner and then watching TV and having a wank, right?
Yeah, but like
Yeah,
the other thing is, this is happening in the 60s in Asia and Southeast Asia.
yeah,
Like, probably there is not a more exciting time to be a mariner in the 20th century.
yeah,
You've got actual pirates in like all of Indonesia. This it's wild. You can have so many adventures, but he's like, no, I'm just going to be on a cargo steamer and sort of just fuck about until I'm 34 and realize that
yeah,
life maybe is passing me by without me realizing it.
yeah. We've been there. Well, I don't know. You've been there. I've been there. I'm there, baby. I'm right there.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Well, you're past it now, dude. Sorry.
You
I'm
reckon?
there. I
Yeah,
settled. I settled long ago, though.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Anyway,
I think
that's
that
depressing.
I liked his completely idiotic proposal.
Oh yeah, we need to get up. We need to get to that because we've been dwelling.
Yeah, so he the least surprising proposal on earth. I'll read it out because
No,
it's
no, but you can't read it out. You've got to say it how he says it.
I will. It's quite funny too.
Yeah.
So this is for Fusako. I know this will be a good year. It couldn't be anything else with us here like this, watching the first sunrise together. And you know something? This is the first time I've ever seen the sunrise on New Year's Day. Fusako's voice shriveled in the cold. Ryuji heard himself bellow in the resolute voice he used to shout orders in the wind on the winter deck. Will you marry me? What? Says
Oh,
Fusako.
this is very awkward for me to read. I was like, oh god, I've been here before, but yeah, usually
Oh
things
dear.
a little bit dirtier than that.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm asking you to marry me. I might just be a dumb sailor, but I've never done anything I'm ashamed of. Wrong, because he's already said stuff in the book that he's been ashamed of. So
yeah,
I think that he like liar. But
but
what he does after his what Fasago describes as an artless proposal touches her more deeply
mm,
than he knew. Um, and he promises to give her all his money, which is
mhm,
I don't know. I guess it makes sense.
yeah. When I
What a
do it, women call me a creep.
Yeah, well, he doesn't have anything. I guess he doesn't have anything else really because he doesn't have any
It really
family
doesn't. He doesn't have
property,
any personality.
and he places a heavy like he's constantly referring to how much money he's got in his bank account. So it's obviously something that he takes pride in. So I
Yeah.
suppose that's the one thing that he can offer her apart from himself.
Just as a
And I
quick
wonder
note,
if is there a dowry um sort of culture in Japan? I don't
I
know.
I don't know. Possibly because it derives from Chinese culture, but I don't know. Who knows?
Well,
I mean,
he
yeah,
doesn't offer it as a dowry. That's everything I have to my name, and I'm going to give it to you all, whether you marry me or not. What a
it's very
what a
romantic.
freak.
I did actually just try to work out how much that's worth. It's about 120,000 Australian dollars. I don't know what that is in freedom dollars, but it's
uh,
not a bad amount of savings.
so that's not that much, really.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'd say it's decent. If I had well, I was gonna say if I had 120,000 in the bank, and I've got a lot more because we've got compulsory super.
Mm,
So yeah,
Here's my superannuation. Take it all.
it is.
That's how you truly get a woman.
Yeah. It's one of those things where because it doesn't mature until you retire, it's a bit of an empty promise. You could just run away. So that's he offers to marry her
Oh,
and give.
sorry. I just looked at one of my notes. It says, "Give up on dream." Hyphen good.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
dear.
good. I mean, it is good.
Yes.
Um,
Lol,
you know,
artless.
it's
Couldn't
trading
comment.
empty romanticism for a real romance.
Oh, that's what I was saying. He couldn't commit. So she said to him, basically straight out, um, yes, of course I will accept his marriage proposal, but I think there are some problems we ought to discuss first. As Noboru, for example, my work at the shop. Can I make just one condition? What you've said. I mean, if you're planning to leave soon, it would be hard. I won't be sailing again for a while. As a matter of fact,
Hmm.
Ryuji faltered and was silent.
Hmm.
So he wasn't quite going to give it up.
No, no.
He's, yeah. There's a couple other things. The young water, I found that a bit strange.
You reckon it just sounds like a? It's like in the same way that on New Year's Day, my mum, she gives me so on Christmas she gives me new socks and new underwear, and then
On
and
New Year's Day,
therefore,
you were permitted to look through the peephole.
no, well, New Year's Day is when you wear your new clothes.
Oh,
It's
okay.
like the New Year thing, and I kind of feel like that's like the young water thing is that you're doing something new for New Year's. I don't know.
That's a Christmas thing.
You reckon?
It is because
Yeah,
that's what my parent or what my mother insists on is we wear the new clothes on Christmas Day.
it's crazy, absolutely
Yes.
crazy.
Well, they also make you open presents the night before, which is even sicker.
Oh, I
Like,
hate the opening
mate,
present shit.
this is like I'm not even going to get into it, but this is a big bone of contention in my family my entire life. Um, so the young water is the first water drawn in the year, and he had to explain that. So I wonder whether that's um, John Nathan um, sort of filling that in, or I wonder if that was described, like whether it's just like an obscure ritual, even by Japanese standards, or whether
Mm.
John Nathan just had to describe it.
It's
Who knows?
it's it sounds about right. It sounds like a thing, that you could probably see across many cultures. But I don't know. Look, neither of us have researched it or bothered to look it up, or whatever. So let's just assume that it's fine. You
Mm.
know?
I did like the boat ritual on New Year's Day where they all drink sake.
Yeah,
That seemed like
yeah,
fun.
yeah. Spiced sake, even.
Although with your colleagues, maybe not that much fun.
No, uh, no. I wouldn't want to with my colleagues, but
Yeah. I
maybe when
did
you live on a boat with people.
I liked uh I really liked Noburu's description of Ryuji's hand. It seems pretty silly for Mr. Sukazaki to drink out of which is the smallest sake cup, but his eyes never left the cup. It seemed to wither in the grasp of the huge calloused hand that carried it to the sailor's lips. And all I could think of was like a Ren and Stimpy style,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
lummox with like
yeah,
a hand the size of like a basketball gripping like a
yeah,
thimble and
yeah.
drinking out of
Making the lummox noise.
it.
Ooh. And then we get he just starts babbling about. He just starts telling him
I like
boring
that
sailor
story.
stories.
I like that story. I thought it was
Why?
really
It's
good. So it's a story.
boring. Yeah, go
No,
on. Okay,
it's
okay.
good.
You
It's good.
you explain why it's good, and I won't argue with you.
So it's sort of the only time he's told a story that he's actually passionately interested in it, or
Yeah.
telling it in a way that's interesting. It's about he got stuck in a hurricane on the boat, um, and then the leeing and the swaying of the deck, um, he gets slamming people against a wall, or the cow cutting out. Haven't got time to be scared because everyone's at panic stations. And how he never got used to the storms. and he got scared, basically got scared every time, and had to reckon himself with death and whatever. But then Fusako turns into an anime character after he
Hmm.
describes this, saying, "Oh, stop it, please stop." Fusako screamed, clapping her hands over her ears. Please don't talk about things like that anymore. Like, what a drama queen.
Yeah, and you know what? Naburu hates it.
He does, rightly.
Yeah,
It is cringe behavior, and he
yeah.
is cringing.
He's just like, shut up, mom.
His mother's
Shut.
histrionics annoyed Noboru. It annoyed me
Um,
too, dude.
but then also, I think he starts to get a grip on who Ryuji really is.
Well, I think
He's a
he does.
loser.
He does, but I think that the way what he interprets is the way that you took the story, which is he's sort of like telling a rote story
Yeah,
that's boring. But I feel like he's telling a story with a bit of passion for a change, and is
yeah,
actually, expressing a bit of real emotion. But I think because Noburo already has that, low opinion of him, and
yeah,
in the previous chapter, he wondered whether he was doing this to be ingratiating rather than genuine, and he feels like he's being a bit of a phony. I feel like this is an extension of that. He's saying he had a pack of wares, which is sort of like a extended metaphor for a peddler selling sundry
like a
wares.
bindle
Yeah,
of bullshit. Yeah,
yeah. It's sort of he doesn't really. I don't think he. I feel like he's saying that Ryuji's putting a confected story out to have a
hmm
controlled reaction, I guess.
yeah.
Um,
He's got his like he's got his game. He's got his different stories for different occasions.
yes, which I don't think this is, because I think he's telling a story that he's. I think but despite Fusako being an anime scared anime child,
Mm.
she's I think she genuinely doesn't want him talking about like fearing death at sea in front of her impressionable son, even though he's 13.
Yeah,
Um, or I suppose not fearing death, but reckoning with death. It's a bit of a mood killer.
yeah, yeah. You're
um,
right.
yeah.
Should
Anyway,
we?
no, good chapter. I
It was a
liked
great
it.
chapter. It was a really good chapter. I would say it's pivotal in the narrative.
I don't think it
Um,
is. I think it's a good. I think this is less pivotal actually than the last chapter, but I
mhm.
feel like it's more humanizing, and sort of
Yeah,
for them, for Sako and Ryuji, sort of letting them have a chance to consummate the relationship that they developed on the boat.
yeah. It shows that they are fundamentally normal humans who have desires and emotions and all that sort of thing.
And who have a
It's
genuine
a
love
new,
for each other.
yeah, a genuine love and affection, and it contrasts really nicely with the next chapter where
Do you want me to
I
go
think.
through this one?
Well, you go through it. You describe it. All I say is I think there's a real contrast between the two.
So this is chapter 3 is from Fusako's perspective. It's her at work, and then having a lunch meeting with the actor Yuriko,
Hmm.
who she previously sort of had a testy, dismissive attitude towards. Fusako did. Um, and then she, uh, on Yuriko's prompting, hires a private investigator to provide a comprehensive report of Ryuji before
Hmm.
she enters into any sort of marriage arrangement with
Yeah.
him. Um, but I think that this is very, as Ryuji is a very internal person, where his internal aspect is quite similar to his external
Yeah.
aspect, and he has a hard time uh, creating a false image of himself towards other people. So his face is pretty much always on, and always the same.
Yeah.
I think that this is quite illustrative of Fusako being quite a different person
Yeah.
depending on the
Yeah.
person she's around. Um,
Yeah. And also, I think a lot less capable than I think we initially might have thought. Is that fair to say? Like,
No, I think a lot more capable.
you reckon?
Yeah,
Oh.
I think that she is a lot more. I think she's a lot more emotional than we would have thought, but at the same time, she sort of recognizes pragmatic options and business
Right.
options. And I think this paints her quite well as an effective businesswoman, rather than just having the, lazy methodology of saying she runs a successful business and therefore by implication she is a successful businesswoman. He sort of goes into the nuts and bolts, which are pretty boring, I think, at the
Mm-hmm.
beginning, talking about a specific deal that she's got with an English retailer where she's managed to negotiate in a way where she holds all the cards. So even if they discontinue the contract, she still gets a benefit out of it. And that's,
Yeah.
that paints her as a clever businesswoman. But
But I get the impression that it's actually this is Mr. Shibuya's doing
yes,
that,
I think that's right.
and she's
Who's a
yeah.
whinging dickhead, I think.
All right. But
He's a
I really think that he's like she's sort of standing on his shoulders,
No, I
and
don't think so.
okay,
I think that she has more sense than he does, I think. And
okay,
I think that he is wanting to play the part of Major Domo to her.
okay.
I
Can
think
I get a comment as well on this just the first page here? She's talking about a dozen and a half pairs of sports slack sizes 34, 38, and 40. They're pretty big for Japanese men. Like I think the biggest I've ever been
I
is a
suppose.
34.
But yeah, okay, so it's for very fat Japanese people, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Um, Probably. Who knows? Who cares? More importantly,
Okay,
it's like
okay,
when they talk
okay.
about 50,000 yen. Like that could be a lot of money, or it could be like $20. I don't know. I don't really care,
Hmm. Okay,
especially back then.
yeah, that's fine.
I think that Shibuya is one of those people, like a 50-plus-year-old guy at work who's like a lower level manager who you just do not want to ask how they're going because you're going to have to hear about it.
I think we have a very different opinion of Mr. Shibuya.
I've been meaning to ask, Fusako said abruptly, her eyes on the V-neck of the thin old dandy's camel hair vest. How you been feeling lately? Not too well, thank you. I imagine it's my arthritis playing up again, but the pain seems to be spreading. Well, have you been to see a doctor? No, with the holiday rush and everything. And then she tells him off for not seeing a doctor.
Hmm. Hmm.
I think he's a pain in the ass. Nothing's going to move me from this point. Sorry, Daniel.
Well, I mean, it's just very telling that that I sympathise with the worker and you sympathise with the boss. I'll just leave
Sorry,
it at
dude.
that.
That's the bourgeois mindset. You don't
Which we
like,
get into. We
don't
get into the
like it.
bourgeois mindset
I know we do.
very shortly.
I do. So yes, we do because she meets Miss Yuriko
Yeah.
Kusaga.
Yes.
Oh, sorry, Kasuga. Miss Yuriko Kasuga.
She
Um,
sounds beautiful.
yeah, she sounds hot and has most importantly big boobies.
Yeah.
As Fusako comments on, the actress had marvelous breasts.
Yes.
Capital knockers, madam.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
they go to a French restaurant. Um, I'm not sure why. This must just be like Fusako softening up the clientele or something.
Yeah,
Um,
just treating your clientele.
they go to the
Especially because I think she alludes earlier in the book to the fact that she rips off her clientele as well.
yes.
Yeah.
Fusako took her to.
La Centaur.
Is
Le
that
Centaur.
so? It's the centaur or the century?
Yeah.
What do you
It's the
reckon?
centaur, as in
Okay.
the thing with the one eye. They have one eye, don't they? No, no.
No, centaur's a horse.
Centaur is the horse with the man on top.
Yes.
Oh God.
Yeah. I underlined a specific section here. They drank a
Yeah.
bottle of the restaurant's celebrated Vin de Maison with their bouillabaisse. Fasaka
Bouillabaisse.
had to order for Eureka because she couldn't read the French menu.
Yeah. So it
Fasaka,
means the house wine with a bouillabaisse. Okay.
correct. Mishima has never drunk wine in his life. Like, to
Yeah.
not even name a single French wine. Like,
Yeah.
Bordeaux is right there.
Could have said Bordeaux. You could have said, yeah,
Could have
yeah.
said
I know.
anything.
Yeah.
But so it's just a house wine, white or red, doesn't matter. Who cares? And
I'd
then,
assume it was a white. If they're having bouillabaisse, it would be white. But
but they
yeah.
do get they get trashed
Mm.
on this whatever wine this is.
Yeah.
Yuriko specifically. Yuriko's reaction to an autograph book was always a good indicator of her mood, and judging from the drunken generosity with which she was flourishing her pen just now, a fan would need only to ask one of her breasts to receive it.
Hmm.
That made me
Hmm.
laugh.
I
Flopping out
would.
one of those boobies.
If only I were there.
Yeah.
No,
Excuse me.
I'm way too shy and bashful for that. Oh my god! I met one of my idols once. Super fan of this comedian, Greg Turkington, and I bought a CD off him, and I was like, excuse me, uh, Mister Mr. Turkington, would you mind signing this? And he's like, yeah, sure, sure. What's your name? I was like, it's
Fuck
Daniel. I
no.
just wanted to say, I'm just a huge. This was last year, by the way. I'm a huge fan, and he's like, oh, thanks for coming to the show.
Oh, that's very
Anyway,
cute, Daniel.
that's very cute.
I did that with Safran.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I went to one of his live things, and he walked up the crowd, and I
Grabbed him
loomed
by
in
the
front of
arm.
him and grabbed and grabbed his hand, and I was like, "Good job, John." He was like, "Oh yeah, thanks," and kept walking. And I never washed that hand ever since that day. Oh dear. Yuriko mumbled as she lit a woman's cigarette.
Yeah.
Was
Vogue,
that
I'm assuming he means.
what? Sorry.
A Vogue, a skinny cigarette, a slim,
Oh, I see. I
maybe.
couldn't quite work out what he was talking about, and I didn't care to look it up because I
You're
assumed
not a
it would be
smoker.
some weird shit. Yeah, I'm not a
Yeah,
smoker.
yeah, I am. I know my ciggies. All right. So she
Um,
actually turns out to be a very annoying person.
no, I don't think so.
You reckon?
I think Fusako is just a bitch. I
Well,
think
I mean, you
Fusako.
can have both.
Well, she doesn't like it at all, and I think that Yuriko talks a bit of sense. Actually, talks a lot of sense, and I think Fusako being um, predisposed to disliking her takes it quite badly and sort of looks at it in the worst possible light. But I also think the thing that really annoys her is the fact she's calling her mama the whole time.
Oh, the mama thing like that. Yeah, I would be annoyed because Fusako
Yeah.
is what 34, I
Yeah,
think.
they're like there's hardly any age gap from what
Yeah,
she sort of seems to indicate. But
yeah.
and I think Eureka does that because I think she knows it annoys her. But she also
You can call me daddy,
Eureka
by the way.
calling you daddy.
Yeah, you
Come
call
on,
me
dude,
daddy. Okay.
get your fucking hand off it. Um, Eureka thinks that she's her friend, considers her a friend,
Yeah,
even though she's a friend who rips you off, which are always the worst kind of friends.
yeah.
Um, I I did yeah. So they have a conversation, and then just about this and that, and small talk and so on. And then Fusako had a sudden feeling, potentially uh, influenced by the wine she's been drinking, to talk to Yuriko about her new relationship with Ryuji.
Hmm.
And then I think that Yuriko's take on it is sort of like if one of your friends told you this story, you'd be slightly like, "Oh, what the fuck? This seems really weird."
Mm.
Is that right? And did he really give you a seal and a bank book with 2 million yen on deposit? I tried to refuse, but he wouldn't take no for an answer. We also are told here that Fusako is quite rich to the point where
Oh
she would
yeah,
consider $120,000 chicken
it's,
feed.
it's pennies as far as you're concerned.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. So you do have a different version of it because it says,
yeah, we
uh,
do. You,
of
you have
course,
been
money is
actually.
chicken feed as far as you're concerned.
Yeah, we do actually have a slightly different translation because there was a couple of things you said before that was slightly differed, and I was like, nah, let's not get into the translation.
Yeah. Okay.
Look, that's weird because mine's by John Nathan.
Yes.
Odd.
Maybe, I don't know, maybe it's just an updated version.
Yeah.
So what Yuriko sort of talks about is a relationship. Sorry, she doesn't talk about a relationship. What she prescribes is what Fusako considers to be a sensible course of action for uh, a wealthy woman that Fusako is, to make sure that she's not getting into a bad situation here with Ryuji, who she barely knows. So she first suggests she goes and sees a private detective agency to get a report. And I feel like this is coming from Mishima himself, learning a couple of lessons from the
Mm-hmm.
bathhouses, suggests that he get a health exam
Mm-hmm.
uh, to make sure that he doesn't have an ugly disease.
He's a
Uh,
sailor.
yes, he is a sailor, so I think that Mishima first-hand experience. Make sure you check those dicks before you get
Mm-hmm.
too much action.
Yeah.
Um,
Good lesson for us all.
and then after this, Yuriko pressing each point home firmly but with patience, as if she was trying to persuade a child, though in fact Fusako was the older. Fusako was amazed to hear a woman she'd considered such a fool talk such good sense. I've never realized you were so. There was new respect in her voice. So capable. Like what a bitch.
Mm.
She's so like patronizing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, to I suppose a competitor, or not like a woman she shouldn't be in competition
Yeah.
with.
This is what I was talking about with the contrast. Is we see this other side of Fusako. This I think it's a nasty side of her.
Very
Very.
nasty, because
Yeah.
Yuriko goes into why she knows about this course of action,
Yeah.
because she had a
Yeah.
very bad relationship that
Yeah.
a producer got in her ear and said, "This is probably not a good idea. Let's do a bit of background checking."
Yeah.
And hired a private detective who came up with quite a bad report that ended up being quite bad for her career. And
Yeah.
it got out. The details of the relationship got out, and
And there's this classic thought pattern after this that you see in a lot of your friends, including me, to justify poor relationships, which is well, I happen to have a sound sense of what's good and what's bad. Like
mm,
this thing of like, well, I know what I know.
but I think that she sort of has a she's taken culpability for this. Like
Yeah.
like Yuriko recognizes that it was an error, and
Mm,
she doesn't want Fusako to suffer the same thing, which is something a friend would do.
yeah.
And Fusako takes it with all the good grace that you would imagine a woman who hates another woman for simply giving her money and calling her mama. From that moment, Fusako loathed the actress, and her hatred was charged with the indignation of an honest, respectable bourgeois.
Mm.
She took
Bourgeois
Yuriko's
mentality.
unwitting innuendo not only as an attack on Ryuji, but also as an insult to her own family and upbringing, and an affront to the
Yeah.
refined traditions of the Kuroda house, which amounted to a slur on her dead husband's honor.
Uh-huh.
Like, come on, dude.
Well, you might have some sympathy for this actress, but the thing she does next is what I would call insanely annoying and something that I would start to be like, I don't think I want to see this person again, which is talking about suicide and like a suicide attempt that she makes.
Yeah, and I think Fusako, like, as much as Fusako's being a bitch, her reaction to this is the correct one.
Yeah. Which is
Like,
like, okay, well,
where is it? I can hardly see it. Like, she's
yeah,
basically taking the piss out of her, which,
yeah,
that might be harsh. Some might consider that harsh. But if someone's going to, in my perspective, make a scene about,
yeah.
having not committed
At
suicide
lunch, a nice
at
boozy
lunch,
lunch.
that is very annoying. And I
Yeah,
think that you're probably right to take the piss out of that person.
it is 100% the sort of reaction I would have, which is just one downplay it and be like, "Oh, it's fine," and then just be like, "And don't worry about it. Don't worry. It's
But
like it's
don't talk,
fine."
like, you can't say don't talk about it. Although there are
Yeah,
a lot
yeah.
more of an embracing of suicide culture in,
But yeah.
um, but
Well,
like
just look at the author of this book.
yeah, well. She's being very annoying. Of course I won't, Mama. A stupid thing like that. These people would have said, you would cry for me. Are all that I have to live for. Would you cry for me, Mama? And Fusako says, crying wouldn't begin to be enough. Fusako crooned. But let's talk about something more pleasant.
Yeah.
Um,
Good.
and then
Yeah.
Fusako continues her streak of being very, very pleasant to this woman by hiring the same detective,
Yep.
specifically because she has a hunch that he's not going to come up with anything good
Yeah.
on Ryuji, so she can gloat,
Hmm.
which she does end up doing.
Yeah.
uh,
With a
because
voicemail, was it?
no, she's calling her on the
Oh yeah.
phone, but you only hear her
Yeah.
conversation of it, which runs through much the same particulars we were already aware of. I think
Yeah. It is
just
good to
sort of
get a bit more granular background on Ryuji. It seems like he had a pretty sad upbringing, to be honest.
yeah, but it's not anything that he hasn't already said. He
No.
hasn't omitted anything, and I think this goes towards him sort of being what you see is what you get,
Hmm.
to the point where he's not really able to have any hidden aspect to his character.
Yeah.
He is a weird oaf,
Should we go
and
back over it? I think it
yeah,
is
you
worth
go
just.
you go for it.
The mother, Masako, died when the subject was 10 years of age. The father, Hajime, was employed as a clerk in the Katsushita Ward office in Tokyo. He did not remarry after his wife's death, devoting himself to raising and educating his only son, who would have been Ryuji. The family home was destroyed in an air raid in March of 1945. The subject's sister, Yoshiko, died of typhus in May the same year, and the subject graduated from the Merchant Marine Academy. On and on and on. It's a pretty tragic sort of teenage years for Ryuji, I think.
No relationships of
Yeah,
significance with the women.
yeah.
He displays slightly eccentric tendencies.
He's seems to be a bit of a loner, but he gets on okay with other people.
No debts. Never
No
borrowed in advance
debts.
of his salary.
Yeah.
Uh, the subject is known to prefer solitude to company and has never been at ease socially. Accordingly, he does not always get along with his colleagues.
Mhm.
And then, so we don't really hear the rest of the report because
Yeah.
Yuriko sort of does the sensible thing and is like, "This is really fucking boring, and I don't really care. I'll see you later."
Hmm.
And it sort of finds an excuse to leave. Oh, someone at the
Both.
door. I'll let you go then. Oh
I, I,
yeah, I could hear them knocking from here.
do you think we could agree that both seem like annoying people to deal with?
Fusako and Yuriko.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I think Fusako would be a pleasant person to deal with, but I
Yeah.
feel like she would be someone that you would, after 2 or 3 meetings, be like, "Oh, this person's an asshole," and
Yeah.
sort of want nothing to do with. But I
Yeah.
feel like Yuriko sounds like she's really hot, so I could probably look past that.
You reckon?
Yeah, I think so.
So this was I don't know, like I feel like the for me this chapter was a really good way of um rounding out Pasako and like trying to show like, okay, so she's got a personal life and a family life. What is she like with her friends and in her business? And all I can see is someone who I don't like.
You think?
Yeah, don't like her.
Insincere,
Yeah, insincere, a bit mercenary. Just,
very
and I
bougie.
really don't think. Yeah, very bougie. I just
Oh,
don't.
one thing that we
Yeah,
didn't mention was that her entire house is said to be Western,
yeah,
and
yeah,
she doesn't have a Japanese room in the house.
yeah. What's a Japanese room? Are those ones with the paper walls?
I think they're talking about the like tatami mats and um
Damn.
yeah, that sort of thing.
We
But
should change our houses to have tatami mats in them.
it'd be a bit difficult in mine, I think.
Okay, I could just rip everything out and do it.
Do it. Why not?
But also, I
Do
don't.
whatever
I
the
don't
fuck
have
you
a,
want.
a beautiful wife and beautiful kids.
I'm not
I've
making
got.
my kids sleep on tatami mats. All right. Well, Daniel, thank you once more for
Thank
joining
you.
me. We are getting on the tail end.
Yeah, four more chapters. Four more chapters.
Yeah, we'll get it done. All right. Well, thanks, Daniel. I'll talk to you
Thanks,
later.
Patrick. See ya.